Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hello, I'm WriterGreg, and welcome to the School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. It's time for a Feedback Frenzy, where we're going to work together and review 1,500 words of fiction or a world-building article that has been submitted at wgc.bz/submit. And if you would like to have your content critiqued, please visit the link above and we'll add it to the queue and it'll be featured in a future episode. All right, so thank you so much for being here, and let's get into Satrium's article called Greater Deities. This is from the Lothera world. Okay, I'm loving the gold accents on this. Ooh, we got a lot of stuff here. First rule, let's zoom out to just take a look. Come on. There we go. Let's take a look at the article as a whole. All right. Looks like it's a pretty straightforward article. A lot of lists. We got the people. All right. Then we have siblings of the sky, children of the earth, the new gods. Interesting. Almost like we have 3 subsections of a pantheon. So I'm not sure if it's 3 pantheons or if it's 3 groups within the same pantheon. It's really interesting. I've been reading the here it is, the Dungeon Master Guide for D&D 5th edition, and I'm surprised how much it's helping me understand world building. I'm almost tempted to recommend this for people who want to build worlds. I'm really enjoying it, and the ideas that it has on the different variations of world building. It's been really interesting, and sorry, I got some vibes on that. Satrium says it's one pantheon with 3 different origins. Excellent. Okay, so let's zoom in. Hopefully the zooming in doesn't mess too much up. A sage contemplating the powers of this world. Again, I really do like these quotes at the beginning. I'm a sucker for it. My world only has one major pantheon and a bunch of minor idols. Okay. Sorry. Even if we all like to believe that we are truly our own... Okay. Even if we all like to believe that we truly own our own life and decisions, and this is true, at least to an extent, there are many powerful entities out there, shaping and influencing the world, and every single one of us. You might not agree with their teachings or actions, but you can't deny their existence and influence. They have been here long before any of us, and they will be here long after all of us are gone. Okay, the stumbling at the beginning of this, that was completely 100% me. And I really like contemplating the powers of this world. You're not giving a name, but even this explanation here, I think, is really nice because it does kind of set a tone. Now, we'll see if that tone is continued through the rest of the article. But yeah, there are many powerful entities out there. You might not agree with their teachings or actions, but you can't deny their existence and influence. You know what? That hits me on a deep level. I like that. Bye, Kit. After the War of Fate. Okay, all right, good. Article. Ooh, that is okay. Oh, that's in more of an article block link. But good use of a tooltip. After the War of Fate, the influence of the gods and other extraplanar entities dwindled, but it never completely vanished. There are many powerful beings out there, and you will find a place of worship for most of them somewhere in Lothria. Lothria? Uh, I could use a tooltip for pronunciations. But the most known and most worshipped entities are the 10 greater deities. You will find temples and shrines to them in every major hub of civilization. Okay, civilization, should that be a Z? Or is that a non-American spelling, like UK or something else? Not sure. If it's okay, I think it's just a misspelling. Siblings of the Sky. Okay, I think I would like to have a look. See, this is a really good information talking about how they're the different gods and stuff like that. I I kind of would like to have maybe a paragraph explaining not just only the 10 greater deities, but these three groups that you have. That so that I kind of I'm forewarned about what I'm about to read with the three groups. You have really, uh, okay, we'll get into these different things as well, but the, the question, I personally would like to see something like that. So, okay, civilization equals UK spelling. Okay, good to know. In the beginning, there was nothing. No time, no space, only darkness. An endless and eternal void of nothingness. But this is only part of the truth, because in this endless void, there was a single mote of light, a tiny piece of light and hope, the beginning of something great, the beginning of everything that exists today. For an eternity, this mote of light was the only thing that existed, but eventually it grew tired and bored. So it gave itself up and gave birth to the elements and three new lights in the dark. The elements formed the world as we know it, and the lights grew into the three siblings of the sky: Yana, the Lady of Light; Tria, the source of magic; and Israel, the force of change. Okay, I am a big fan of the Oxford comma, specifically for reasons like this. Yana of Light, comma, Tria, the source of magic, comma, and is Israel, the force of change. If you were to go according to I think it's the Chicago Book of Style, they discourage the Oxford comma or the serial comma. I am a big fan of it because it's just a single thing that adds so much clarity to the list. So that's just me. I am a huge fan and will never stop using the Oxford comma. Even as much as a coworker of mine tried to steal my Oxford commas, I will continue to put them back in. Anyway, I'm not bitter. To this day, the sun reminds the mortals of Yana's love. Tirius, the big moon in the sky, reminds them of Tria's magic, comma. See, and there you have the serial comma right there. See, excellent. And Israk, the red moon, reminds them of Israel's change. Okay. Rant aside from the serial comma, beautifully written. Beautifully written. Yeah. I can't say anything more than that. Just that's beautifully written. Okay, Yana, goddess of the sun, light, love, and temptation. Love and temptation. Interesting. Okay, so more. I'm on You got me started on the Oxford comma. You can't stop me now. Okay, because here, love and temptation. sounds like it's the same thing. You have three items in this sentence. If you, depending on this, it could be up for interpretation. Sun, light, love, and temptation. However, if you were to remove the ampersand and put the comma, the word and in there, it would separate love and temptation, and it would elevate temptation to the same level as love, light, and sun. Because right now, sun and light are on one level, light and temptation together have to be together to be on the same level as sun and light. You see, it's a very subtle difference there. So it's just, so the question I have is temptation and love equal in status to sun and light? If it individually they are, I would drop the ampersand, throw in the comma, use the word and. But if not, if love and temptation are their own unit, their own unified thing, then yeah, you could leave it as it is. That's my interpretation. Your mileage may vary. It's four equal things. Then, Satrium, I've given my recommendation. I will go through the article and change it everywhere. Yes! Another convert to the Oxford comma. I'm in a weird mood today. Every morning the sun rises and stands bright in the sky. It brings light, love, and life to this world. Yana is the patron of the sun and the Lady of Light. She teaches her followers to care for everyone, to love freely and without regret, and to bring a bright light in the dark. Many people pray for Yana's blessing every day, kings and beggars alike. Cordless, you'll find out that I have a very strong content filter on my chat. I would say yes, temptation is more of enticement of of pleasure. So that's why, that's another reason why I wanted to have more emphasis on, is love and temptation the same thing? Are they together or are they four separate? As Satrium has mentioned, they are four separate things, and so then that will change. So yeah. Okay, stay in the light, be the best person you can be, love freely and without regard, bring light to everyone who needs it. Okay. Again, so and yeah, you got a point there, Cordless. But okay, let's keep going. But now, all right, so let's take this sentence again. We're talking about the commas because I'm on a kick for commas. She teaches her followers to care for everyone, to freely love and without regret, and to be a bright light in the dark. See, because you're correctly using the serial comma in this sentence, to love freely and without regard are a unit, and so you can understand it as a unit. But as I mentioned in a previous critique, when you have the rule of three, especially in a serialized list like this, you need to have the weird one be at the end. So I would actually move, unless it's order of importance, then you can argue for difference. However, I would move to love freely and without regret to the end of the three, because she teaches her followers to care for everyone, to be a bright light in the dark, and to love freely and without regret. Because this middle thing that you have here is a compound concept, because you have the word and in there. Love freely, love without regret. Okay? Because you could say to love freely without regret. And then that would make it simple, simple, simple. as opposed to simple compound simple. And actually, and so that's your choice. If to love freely is one thing, and to love without regret is a separate thing, then I would just leave it as that, but I'd still move it to the end. But if to love freely without regret is the same concept, I would remove the and. See, that's the crazy thing about the English language, and probably other languages out there. Even just the simplest of sentence words can really change what you're talking about and the implication of it. Words matter. So please forgive me if I'm overanalyzing words and commas today. Goddess of the moon, healing, magic, and twilight. I've talked enough about that. Tria has been here since the beginning of time. She is the source of magic and the patron of twilight and shadows. Okay. I would actually remove the comma here because we don't have a list. We don't have a clause. It's not a separating a clause. She is the source of magic. That's one thing. And the patron of twilight and shadows. That's a second thing. So we don't have three items here requiring the commas to separate it into a serialized list. We only have two things: the source of magic and the patron of twilight and shadows. So I would remove that comma personally. Her followers are scattered all over the world and come from all walks of life. Okay, see, here's another example. Talking about her followers all over the world, all walks of life. No comma. Highly valued practitioners, try that again. Highly valued practitioners of the arcane arts and the most skilled healers count to her followers as much as criminals, assassins, and everybody else who wants to stay in the shadows. Interesting. Okay, healing and magic. Okay, and then twilight. Okay, the shadows. All right, twilight and shadows. All right. Okay. Now this is a kind of a long sentence. We have multiple ideas in here. You could say the single idea we're talking about here is her inclusivity of different followers. So, highly valued practitioners of the arcane arts and the most skilled healers count to her followers. See, it's the to her followers that's throwing me off. The most skilled healers are valued followers as much as criminals, assassins, karma, and everybody else who wants to stay in the shadows. See, now this is a good example of having the complex third thing at the end of a serialized thing. Criminals, one word. Assassins, one word. Comma, and everybody else who wants to stay in the shadows. Complex. That is a compound thing. But because they're in a really good order like that, it flows more smoothly. It would not read as well if you said, count her followers as much as criminals, everybody else who wants to stay in shadows, and assassins. Okay, you see the difference? That's an extreme example, but this is why I like how you structured this sentence, is because simple, complex. You know, your complex thing here is very complex, so it's easy to point that out. But if we have a complex thing that is smaller, it may be harder to do. Okay. Satrium, I hope that you don't take my overpicking as a comment on your work. It's just, this is a great opportunity to share. So, to overemphasize for educational purposes, so I hope. Sorry. Magic is a tool. Use it freely, but respect its power. Stay in the twilight. Too much light and everything burns. Too much darkness and the world dies. Wow. That's an interesting philosophy. I like that. You are the architect of your own path. You are responsible for your own life. That should be tattooed. That should be displayed on every single school in the world. I love that. Okay, that speaks to me. I'm trying to be the architect of my own path, and that's, yeah. Israel. I almost want to make that into a meme and post it on one of my health coaching, my life coaching thing. God of change, war, bravery, and suffering. Many people fear change. Seeing Israk, the red moon, standing in the sky is seen as a bad omen in many cultures. But change is not bad. Change is necessary and inevitable. Followers of Israel have embraced this. Only those who can adapt to new circumstances can survive. Many warriors and soldiers, but also inventors and other forward-thinking people are praying for his blessing. Many warriors and soldiers, but also inventors and other forward-thinking people are praying for his blessing. Okay, I would not change that sentence because it's not a list. It is two people, two categories. Two do not make a list, three make a list. Warriors and soldiers are praying for his blessing. If you can take out something between the sentence, between the commas, and the sentence still makes sense, good sentence. Many warriors and soldiers are praying for his blessing. Perfectly good sentence. And then you have this, that's not a parenthetical. I forget the term. But also inventors and other forward-thinking people. Again, two things. It's not a list. So this is in my opinion, this is a well punctuated and clear sentence. Embrace change. Only the brave will survive. War is an engine of change. Fight for what you believe is right. Suffering is unavoidable in the face of change. Push through and grow. Wow. I really like these mantras that you have for these people. I really do. Okay. All right, children of the earth. Just a few decades after the first mortals appeared on Lothria, their faith gave birth to new entities and new gods. These new arrivers fought for followers and prevalence. They fought many bloody wars, influenced great cultures, and people trying to find worshippers all over the world. Okay, but in the end, only 5 of them remained, while all the others have fallen into obscurity or been completely forgotten. Okay. They fought many bloody wars, influenced great cultures, and people trying to find worshippers all over the world. Period. But in the end, only 5 of them remained, while all others have fallen into obscurity or been completely forgotten. Okay. So a little bit of the comma work there. Only 5, while the others have fallen into obscurity or been. Okay. My pro writing aid has really harped on me on the word been. So I'd wonder, fall into obscurity or forgotten. Because I just don't know if the adverb completely. Oh, this is an adjective. No, forgotten is. No, forgotten's a verb. This is an adverb. This is modifying the adverb, making it past perfect. I don't think this adverb helps clarify the word forgotten. Okay? Adverbs that do not change the fundamental nature of the verb that you are using should be removed. Things that are forgotten are completely gone. So to say something that is completely forgotten is slightly redundant. And the been completely forgotten is a past perfect tense. And so this may be a little bit more of a this is more of a obscurity. This is more of a past tense. So I'm just saying, I think this sentence would be much more impactful if it was tighter, meaning all the others, well, or all others. Get rid of the definitive article. The others. You don't need that. It's just other people, the other gods. You don't need. We're not specifying which of them. We're just saying others. Okay. In the end, only 5 of them remained. Then, period. All others have fallen into obscurity or forgotten. Ooh, or obscurity or oblivion. Oh, okay. See, that plays on the alliteration, the O, the rhyming O at the beginning, the alliteration of it, because you could say completely forgotten. You could use such if you use the word oblivion, because usually the word oblivion is literally that. It is the void, the emptiness, the ceasing to exist. And you could, while others have fallen into obscurity or oblivion. And that's depending on how poetic you want it to be. Would the Chronicles of Lothria be that poetic? I hope so. That's just, you know, obscurity or I just, it just, it gives that oomph, that extra little bit of like, ooh, gods that could fall into oblivion. That's cool. Okay, I'll take that. Yes, it totally would. Okay, and see, this is why we edit. This is why we have critiques. This is why we share our works, is because together as a community, we can grow so much more, and we can freely share ideas to help improve each other. And a second set of eyes is always helpful. Mm, yes, I was going to qualify that maybe not always helpful if a person doesn't know what they're talking about, but even a person who has no clue what they're talking about, reading something can help you understand how your fiction helps impacts a person who has no idea what they're talking about. Okay, so even if there's a complete newbie reading your stuff, you can still glean out. It may take more work, but you can still glean out the jewels out of that critique. Yeah, obscurity or oblivion. Whoa. Okay, Mealder. Oh boy. Okay, it would be weird to have a highlight on a header like that. But something like this down here, having a highlight of pronunciation or putting in parentheses after a pronunciation, maybe that's just me because I'm reading it out loud, and it's weird. Nothing can strive without law and order, as chaos is pure destruction. Mealder teaches to follow the law to the letter. no matter what you believe is good or evil. The law stands above all, above your morals, and above your belief. Okay, comma, above, because above all, above your morals, above your beliefs. Okay, so interesting thing here. We could play with the order of this for impact. When we put things in an order, in a sequence of 1, 2, 3, that's going ascending. 3, 2, 1, descending. We can go in length. There's many different ways you can go that. Here, you're talking about all your morals and your beliefs. So we do need to have a comma there because I'm a fan of the Oxford comma. But see, here you're going from descending from the all, then going to morals, and then going to beliefs. See, I would switch this order around to ascending in importance. So the most important thing is at the end of the sentence. The law stands above your beliefs, your morals, above all. Okay, I feel that is more impactful because you're saying, oh, it's above my beliefs. Oh, it's above my morals. It's above everything. And so by even the switching around of the three clauses that you have in this serialized list, you can really just emphasize it up. Followers of Mjolnir believe that the only way to avoid the eventual destruction of all life is for everyone to obey a common law and bring order to this world. Eventual destruction. Okay, I like that. I'm not sure if life should be capitalized here because we're not referring to a specific thing, a specific life or a specific force or something like that. Not sure if that should be capitalized, but okay, eventual or inevitable. Do they believe that it'll eventually happen? Or do they have a more pessimistic view of inevitable? Your choice. Without law, there is no order, and without order, there is no life. Protect the order and laws of this world. Without them, everything will fall apart. People don't know what's best for them. Force them to obey the law if you have to. Okay. I don't personally agree with that, but yes, that is a very good, strong statement that will bring a lot of good conflict into your world. Because if you have the followers of Mjolnir coming up against others, that is going to form the bloody wars that you referred to earlier. Oh yeah, strong choice. Good, yeah, good. Lornan, god of travel, commerce, civilization, and greed. Yep, the UK spelling of civilization. Thank you, Moonflower. Lornan came into existence as one of the last gods of his time. When people started to live together, they formed pockets of civilization. Okay, again, people. Is this a specific people? Or is this just a generic people? They traded with each other, which gave birth to the god of commerce and civilization. He wanted the mortals to come together, learn from each other, and thrive. Okay, again, we have a serialized thing of 3, but here we have it in a different order. And I like the order that it's in. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to understand myself why I like it the way because this is sequential. This is a sequential. Instead of ascending or descending, this is a chronological sequence of events. They have to come together so that they can learn from each other. And if they come together, if they learn from each other, they thrive. Okay, so I like the sequence of this sentence that you have here because it follows a sequential order and it goes from complex, complex, simple to come together, learn from each other, and thrive. Okay, complex, complex, simple. I like that. Okay. Together, people can achieve so much more than any single one of them ever could. Merchants, politicians, travelers, crafters, and artisans. You can find them all among his followers. Right. The whole is always stronger than its single parts. Work together and flourish. Okay, I like that you capitalized the whole here. That it sounds, it gives it more importance. It sounds like it's a thing. This is a goal. We want to become a part of the whole. Okay, I think it emphasizes this and maybe something. Are you a part of the whole? Are you a part? Have you joined our commune? Have you joined our civilization? Are you a part of the whole? Now might get confusing because people might think you're saying HOLE instead of WHOLE, but I kind of like the implication that your capitalization here is inferring. Travel and see the world, make new experiences, meet other cultures, and learn from them. Take what is rightfully yours, but take nothing that isn't. Ending with a contraction. Ending a sentence with a contraction. Not sure. Ashran. We're halfway through the article, and how long have we been doing this? We've been doing this for a half an hour. But I just feel there's so much to learn from this. So I do apologize. Gotta adjust that. I hope this is okay for everyone watching. I just think that there's so much line editing and impact that I think, having good examples of this. So I hope you guys are enjoying this because I am. Ashran, goddess of beauty, joy, beauty, passion, and envy. Ashran, the daughter of Yana, is the patron of joy and beauty. She tells everyone to enjoy life and everything it has to offer. Don't look back. Don't think about what you're doing. Regret nothing. Just move forward and enjoy every day by itself. The world is beautiful, and it's the right of every mortal creature to enjoy it. Her followers are artists, travelers, musicians, and many more free-thinking spirits. Okay, different vibe on this. Live life to its fullest and enjoy everything it has to offer. Again, not sure if life should be capitalized here. In contrast to the whole, I could see the whole being something, but here, life, I think is too vague of a term. I don't know if it would be a proper thing. Embrace your passions. Don't let anybody stop you. Leave everything behind that doesn't bring you joy. Elmos. Okay. Trying to pick up the pace a bit. God of knowledge, peace, justice, and apathy. Knowledge is the most valuable thing you can imagine. It helps you make rational and fair decisions, and without it, you are doomed to repeat the mistakes of the past. Elmos is the keeper of knowledge and records everything that happens. I don't know if you need that comma there. He has never intervened in any mortal affairs. He is just an observer. It is said that his domain is an endless library containing all past, current, and future knowledge. Okay, you use the word current. Usually, in American English at least, it's like past, present, and future. Like, I guess it comes from Dickens. The Ghost of Christmas Past, the Ghost of Christmas Present, and the Ghost of Christmas is yet to come, but that's a little difficult to say. So past, present, and future. Because it gives that nice alliteration of the letter P for past and present. Your choice. Knowledge is power. Only those who know their past can build a successful and peaceful future. Okay, and if you want to double emphasize, you could change successful to prosperous. Now, okay, a prosperous and peaceful future. That might be too on the nose, but it might help people remember it more. If you're into that more alliterative, poetic, not just rhyming poetic, but how it feels on the tongue type stuff, build up a prosperous and peaceful future. Only through knowledge you can be just. Don't judge people if you don't have all the facts. Okay? I wonder what it would be like to switch the clause. You can only be just through knowledge. See, playing with that sentence here, flipping things around, being a more direct as opposed to a more passive approach to the sentence might give a different impact. You can only be just through knowledge, or you can be just through only knowledge. And also the word only, man, you can move that all over the place. Don't judge people if you don't have all the facts. Yeah, there could be something done with that. I'm not sure. Logic and reason are better guides than instinct and emotion. Okay, interesting choice to capitalize those things. That does give them a more emphasis. I'm not against that because it gives a little bit more personification of these abstract concepts. Logic and reason are better guides than instinct and emotion. And because you capitalized all four, it gives a better visual appearance. So I kind of like that. A grammarian might tell you otherwise. An editor might tell you otherwise. I like that. Don't know why. Zethris, goddess of life, nature, weather, poison, and disease. Zethris is an Zethris is as unpredictable as nature itself. Her touch brings life, but her wrath can destroy entire countries. She is the patron of nature and the sea. She controls wind, rain, and weather. Farmers and sailors alike pray for her goodwill. I like this sentence, but I think it could be, again, more poetic if it was shortened. To make it more parallel. And what I mean by parallel is we have two clauses in here. I don't think we need the comma in here, but we have two clauses. Her touch brings life, but her wrath destroys. Or her touch brings life, but her wrath brings destruction. Okay? And then you could say believers the destruction of countries have been attributed to her wrath. Okay, so you can still have the concept that entire countries have fallen because of her wrath, while separating the concept of entire countries into a second sentence. But then you can really punch up this sentence by making it more parallel between the two clauses, making it more similar, And by making it more similar, it will emphasize the differences between the two. Her touch brings life, her wrath brings death, destruction. Death is too on the nose because you can have death without destruction. She isn't a goddess of death. She's not Hela. She's not Hades. So to say her touch brings life, but her wrath brings death, I think gives a wrong idea. But her wrath brings destruction, calamity. Yeah, I wouldn't use the perfect antonym here of life and death because it really doesn't match what you're doing here. Because poison and disease, because nature, weather, poison, and disease all bring about destruction, but not necessarily death. Because you could have suffering. Her wrath. Okay, anyway. Protect all life, no matter which form it takes. Embrace the untamed places of the world. Live in harmony with them. Nature is wild and unpredictable. Don't stand in the way of an unstoppable force. Oh, wow. Okay, that's wow. Yeah. Okay, I'm liking that. The new gods. How? Okay, we. How many new gods do we have left? Only two. Okay, we can't end there. Okay, we only have two left. During the age of Arcanum, civilization thrived and mortals got more and more powerful until two of them ascended to godhood. Today, not much is known about their mortal life or the gods that preceded them. Both of them did their best to destroy every knowledge or evidence of that. Out of fear, it might be used against them. But today, they are as influential as all the other gods out there. Okay, both of them did their. Or evidence of that. Okay. That is a bit vague. You're using the word today twice. Today, not much is known about their mortal life or the gods that preceded them. Today. I'm not sure where if the word today is adding anything. I'm sorry. I'm so overly nitpicking. Oh, that is a okay. That is a link. Cordless. That's correct. You got to start somewhere. The name of the goddess of death has been long lost to time. She is only known as the Lady of Crows, the Weaver of Fate, comma, or the Queen of Winter. Her followers are valued all over the world, guiding those who have passed into the afterlife. Her followers guide the people into the afterlife? Or are they more like funeral directors, the morticians, okay, interesting. They're guiding those who have passed into the afterlife. Interesting. Death is gentle. Don't mourn don't mourn who you have lost. Be glad about the time you had with them. Death is inevitable. It will come for everything that's alive. Make the best of the time you have. Death is final. fate is set. There is no way back when your time has come. Wow, that's fatalistic. Literally. Yeah, short to the point. Idros. Idros was the greatest artisan of his time. His skills far exceeded those of anybody else, and even the gods themselves came to him for his work. The items he created count to the most powerful artifacts in existence, and eventually, through his craft, he ascended into godhood. This has inspired many crafters and artisans to strive for perfection and change the world, like Idros. His followers believe that only through the labors of your own hand and mind can you achieve everything you can imagine. Interesting. Uh, you're using these dashes here. I'm not familiar with the rules of dashes, so I'll just leave it at that. I'd split this sentence. His skills far exceeded those of anyone else. Period. Even the gods themselves came to him for his work. I guess I'm a fan of shorter sentences. So, because, yeah, you could make a defense of keeping this sentence together because you want to have the idea of because his skills exceeded those, even the gods came to him. So having this as a single sentence does tie the two ideas together, that because his skills exceeded even the gods. Separating those two sentences will lessen the connection between the two. So maybe you don't want to split the sentence, but I'm always a fan of shorter sentences. They're easier to read and parse, especially when speaking out loud or narrating. So yeah, I guess that's why I'm a fan, is because I think of words as being narrated as opposed to just being written. Okay. Create new things with your hands and mind. Your creativity is your only limit. Strive for perfection. Strive for perfection in your craft. The highest honor is changing the world through the labors of your work. Yes. Don't fear destroying things that did not work. Sometimes old stuff has to go to make room for better work. Wow. I really like a lot of these ideas that you have with this. All right, definitely gonna like that. Okay, wow, this has been a marathon. Um, this this was just uh, a really good article, really well thought out, wonderful pantheon, uh, well varied, a lot of variety of the pantheons. I do get the sense that this whole pantheon is really about personal responsibility, hard work, getting stuff from your own labor. Because I don't see a god of drink. I don't see a god of slothfulness. I don't see um, Dionysus. Is that the god of wine from the Greek mythology? So you do it does seem like you have a very consistent thing going on between the three. So I was not bored at the least. I really enjoyed reading about these. I apologize if I overparsed the sentences. I just thought going into that line edit, I got sucked into the discussion and I just went full board. So hope you enjoyed that. That may have been too much, but I apologize. I'm not really sorry, but it was good. It was good. Um, Bored? No. Confused? I think I talked enough about the confusing things when we were parsing the sentences about, even the subtle changing of the sentences can really change the impact of each sentence. So I was not confused, but wow, there's so much potential with fine tuning if you have the time to go in there. Delete? No, don't delete anything. Expand? This was a good summary. this was a good list of the deities. The only expansion that I would have would be their own separate pages, as it seems like some of them do. Who had a link? Okay, the Lady of Crows has a link. Yeah, so the expansion that I would recommend is not on this article itself, but that each one of these gets more. Okay, yeah, that's a cool little, yeah, see, that's going to be a good article. Wow. Okay, thank you so much for allowing me to read that, Satrium. I hope you're still here. I hope that this was helpful, and it was really enjoyable to read these. And hopefully, those of you who watch this uh, got a better sense of what kind of uh, things that I look for editing, the things of clarity, what I do for line edits and stuff like that. I think it's a real collaborative effort here, but yeah, this is very rich and has so much wonderful potential. The pages is what I want to work on next. Excellent choice. All right. Thank you so much, Satrium, for sharing this wonderful article with us and allowing me to dissect it down to the commas. And if anyone of you would like to have me dissect your work or a more generic overview, please visit me and submit your content through the Google form found at wgc.bz/submit, where your content can be reviewed and you'll be able to have a copy of this video put onto Twitch or YouTube. So thank you so much for being here, and until next time, keep on working.
Thanks for watching this Feedback Frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.